But football without fans, isn't it? You play a football match without fans, you're getting it. It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch it, it becomes nothing.
And to Johnston. Johnson. And a corner Larson. Oh, he's in! Henrik Larsson! That is sensational! Nakamura! He has done it! Isn't that just typical?
The game is over. The Rebels have won.
A star is born at Celtic!
Champions. That's who we are.
Good evening, troops. How you doing? Tuesday, 16th of August, and it's myself and Paddy. Sorry for the wee delay there. We had some technical issues.
We had McGinty issues.
McGinty issues, indeed. Paddy, how are you doing, mate?
Aye, okay, mate, okay. Just looking forward to the night's viewings. Hopefully I'll be going to be a bit Dutch tonight, you know.
Aye. Hope you're wearing your clogs. A familiar face back in town, back at Paradise, Jan Vennegoor at Hesselink. So he was with the PSV team, and he was giving them a wee tour around Paradise. The very best luck to PSV tonight, mate. I think they've got enough to get the result tonight.
Mm-hmm. That was good though, wasn't it? With Hesselink, saw that today, and it was. I think somebody says that he was either like a scout or a technical director or something at PSV. I
was trying to figure out exactly what his role is with PSV. He must be affiliated somehow.
I think it was something like that, but no, what a cracking idea to take the old Celtic, the PSV team a tour. Best stadium, get ready for your rivals.
Right. Palman, I think I saw your name in the chat. How strong are PSV? What's your prediction for the result tonight? Aye, Paddy, who have we got in the house?
We have got Frank Kennedy. He's talking about Palman. Donny Boy. Just read that out for me, Gab, if you can, pal.
Unlike Dave King, I'm going to have both eyes on Mordor, willing PSV to dump the bumbags out of Europe. Evening, guys, by the way.
Bumbags,
I think that's what Donny Boy asking for McGinty to be sacked.
There's Joe Curran as well. Hail, boys. Great game on Sunday. Let's keep it going. Yep, absolutely. There he is. There's Palman. Well, they're playing good football under Van Nistelrooy, but I don't know if they're strong enough at the moment. Let's hope for it. There's really not much we can do about it anyway.
We'll see, mate. Aye, so again, viewers, thanks very much for tuning around for the Tuesday Tic Talk. We'll be talking the usual shite. Obviously, we're still on a high for the 5-0 victory against Kilmarnock. A 5-star display. And we're talking about transfers. The rumoured transfers of a few Celtic players have got some eyes on them for suitors down south. We've also got former Celtic players, which we still retain that transfer sell-on clause. So a few transfer speculations about them, namely Kieran Tierney and Moussa Dembele. Up for that, we've also been rumoured with Ross Barkley. I wonder what your thoughts are on that. We'll get into it. And of course, the actual competition in the squad right now is it's very, very healthy. We've had 3 wins on the trot right now in the league. Things are looking well. And actually, we've got 4 more games. And then that's as we play in the Champions League group stage. And that'll be on the 6th, roughly about the 6th of September. Yep. It'll be the midweek game after we play Sevco at home. So the games will be coming very, very fast, very, very soon. But Paddy, I wonder if McGinty's going to join us tonight, but we shall wait and see. Paddy, want to hear your thoughts on what do you want to start off with, mate?
I don't know. Kilmarnock game. Me and you obviously already covered that on the at the weekend there. But is there anything you want to
Hey, well, let's talk about Starfelt then. Kick off with Starfelt. I actually was happy to see that he's been raring to go. He's got his chance because Jens went off injured after scoring another goal. But Starfelt said in his interview that he felt he was very, very ready to play that game, and I'm happy he got to start. He obviously got his goal. He celebrated with the fans. The full team celebrated with him. Even Postecoglou was over the moon at seeing Starfelt. He was like the last one who was still waiting to break his duck for Celtic. So I wanted to ask you, is Starfelt back in the starting lineup from now on until he fucks it up, which there's nothing to suggest that he will fuck it up?
So do you mean let Starfelt right automatically back in, take his position? But
I think that we'd all agree that Welsh is not pushing for that spot. It's between him and Jens, but Jens has only had really 2 games. But Starfelt has had a full season. He's already got the partnership with Cameron Carter-Vickers. Yes, Jens has done well. He has impressed. He has scored 2 goals. But another thing, he's quite tall because other centre-backs aren't the tallest. But Starfelt hasn't done anything to lose that position. So do you imagine that Starfelt will continue now in the starting lineup?
well, obviously, because that's big Jens. He's took a wee knock and an injury or whatever. So Starfelt's going to come right back in. Welsh isn't going to come in. So I can't see, like, unless Starfelt gets injured or something, he's going to drop out again. It's going to be down to big Jens to kind of put the performances in and try and smash his way back in. So really, it's up to Jens. You know what I mean?
You'll have to put in the performances. And obviously, we don't know what happens in training. That's what Postecoglou sees day in, day out. But I think Starfelt is quite a popular member of the squad anyway, and it would be quite unfair for him to lose his place whenever Jens comes back fully fit. The one thing I'm quite intrigued about is the height of Jens. You know, for set pieces and that, he's already caused damage. And he's effective in both boxes, so it's a good problem to have. But Starfelt, for me, has to kind of retain his position. Talking about the competition in the squad, I think this is an interesting one, and we're at that phase now, second season of Ange, and things really, really are coming together. We've bought well in the summer in terms of everybody was crying out for a left back, whether we wanted or whether we imagined that Greg Taylor would elevate his performances so much as to put our new left back signing on the fringes. Either way, we've got competition now pretty much in all areas of the park. When I was reading an interview with Starfelt after the Kilmarnock game, he said, I think the competition pushes all the players. It's not only the centre-back position. I feel we've got competition in almost every position. It's about the small details. You also need to show every week in training that you want to play. It pushes everyone. We've got 1 game a week right now, but soon it will become 2 games a week, and that will be for a period of months. We will need a big squad, and it's good because it brings up the standards in training. We're not just 11 good players. The whole squad is really good, and so is the training. So I wanted to ask you, what's your level of content in terms of the competition with the squad? And do you think there's any part of the squad which still has flaws in terms of competition?
Probably. Centre back, I would still say there's a bit of a kind of flaw in it. Stevie Welsh, I think we can still do better than him. Maybe right wing as well. I think we're still a wee bit unbalanced, Gav, because obviously we've got a lot of right-footed wingers who can play on the left, but we don't have any other left-footed players that can play on the right. So maybe there's just a wee kind of something missing there. But I think we're nearly there. Maybe 97%.
See, whenever you think about competition, one of the best examples I can think of was the Man U team whenever they won the treble back in the late 90s. See, up front, so obviously they were like 4-4-2 back in the day, most teams were. Up front, for the 2 strikers, they had 4 players competing for it, and that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Teddy Sheringham, Dwight York, and Andrew Cole. The competition that they had back then was absolutely frightening. And I agree with you about centre-back. I'm happy, of course, with Cameron Carter-Vickers and Starfelt, and with Jens so far. He's made a good impression. But the 4th player that we've got, to compete. Stephen Welsh, he's no shite. Don't get me wrong, he's no shite. But is he of the standard that we'd be hoped for? No. That's just to be brutally honest. And another thing I would agree with you on is the wings. So obviously we've got Jota, we've got Maida, we've got Abada. That's good. But behind them, Jimmy Forrest, at the moment, I don't know. And Mikey Johnson, who we all believe that Ange has been looking for a suitor to put him out on loan. And backed by popular demand is the Shetlander. How you doing, mate?
Can't hear you, pal. Same here.
Firing in all cylinders tonight.
As you can see, we've put him on mute, so...
Do you know sign language?
Do I know sign language?
Hey!
Did I make it work? Oh,
aye, a bit fucking half an hour late.
Oh, 19 minutes.
Well done.
How are we doing, guys?
How are you, Grim Reaper?
I'm not too bad. Thanks for asking.
What's the top beat about?
Just the jumper from last season. I think Paddy's got the same one.
Nope.
I've had Paddy's wearing the same one. Well, the tracksuit version of it.
We've all got the same badge. Wee!
Got the same armbits.
What?
I don't know where you want to take this anywhere, guys. What are we talking about? Celtic?
Competition with the squad. Looks like every position is covered now. But I think me and Paddy were in agreement that right wing isn't our strongest in terms of competition, because we're not really enamoured with what Jimmy Forrest brings to the table nowadays. And the centre back positions, the fourth guy in the pecking order is Stephen Welsh. Just in case there was an injury to one of the centre backs, we could have the confidence for an extended part of the season for him to make a meaningful contribution. Right, those two positions, being Paddy, were in agreement that were lacking. But overall, I think the squad depth is it the best that we've had for a long time in terms of competition.
I would disagree. I think we've got a massively strong starting 11, and then a backup 11 as or rotational 11. I think is on paper, if everybody's firing on all cylinders, we have two 11s that could go out and win most games in this domestic campaign. Are they good enough for the whole run in Europe? No, absolutely not. But we won't know where we sit really until Europe really kicks off. But you talk about the centre back pairing option. I think we're all quite happy and comfortable with Carter Vickers after last year, and we all agreed that £6 million to sign him is an absolute bargain for us. I think we're all in agreement that Starfelt had a quality season. That partnership was solid as a rock in the second half of the season. So we're all glad to see him back to scoring form. Not that he ever scored a goal for us, mind you. But, he came back with a bang yesterday, getting his goal. Jens, I think, early days, but I think he's shown that he's a comfortable player on the ball. He's good at getting forward. He's sensibly reads the game reasonably well, but he's not been overly challenged. But by no means does he look amateurish. So I think we've got three really good centre-backs there. And you remember you've still got Julian, who, yes, we all can agree that is probably looking to be out the door at some point between now and next summer. But for now, he's still a Celtic player, and he has the calibre of being a starting centre-back at Celtic. He has been before. So I think we've got four absolute standout centre-backs, if all four at the top of the game. I don't see us going in for anybody else. I think that is enough depth, especially when you add in Stephen Welsh. But if you're going to have all four of those players, I think Stephen Welsh needs to go out on loan. So I'm not too worried about centre-back. Right wing, I do agree with you. Forrest, absolute quality player. Happy for him to see out the rest of his days here if that's what he chooses. But he's not the player he was 2-3 years ago. He's lost his yard of pace. He's lost his explosiveness. He's just lost a bit of edge, a bit of what made him be James Forrest. So we definitely could do with some other option on the right wing.
Yeah. It makes more appearances advertising the new strips and what he does in the actual first team nowadays. You know what I mean? It's I wouldn't call it a fall for grace. It just happens. It happens whenever your ability is built on, as you said, explosiveness at that age. Sometimes it tends to go. Some people retain it for longer, such as like people like Jamie Vardy retains it for longer. Other people like Fernando Torres, for example, like a player who I remember once he hit about 28, 29, he just lost his pace, and he was a bit of a shit player after that. But he'll always be kind of fondly remembered. Guys,
Yeah,
one
have you
thing
seen
that's been...
Torres now?
Pardon me?
Have you seen him now?
Seen him?
Torres?
He's retired.
Mate,
What's-
no, he's turned himself into a big bodybuilder.
Aye.
He is huge, man. Absolutely massive.
Like, he's just massive, or is he like
No, he's
changing
like
career?
massive. You'll be shocked.
But is he changing like into a bodybuilder career sort of thing?
No, I
Or
think
is he just
I
beefed
think
up?
he's started doing that since he kind of dropped football. But he's
Fair enough.
massive.
Who was there's a German goalkeeper a few years ago who ended up changing career and went into the WWE, but I don't think he ever made it out of the kind of training kind of rings.
Tim Visa.
Tim Visa, something like that. Yeah.
That's mine.
Sorry, tangent.
Torres, what the fuck's he doing that for? A bodybuilder?
I couldn't imagine he's such a babyface looking guy, isn't he? You imagine him as a bodybuilder.
It's huge.
There's a tall guy. Right, one thing that's annoying me is this Ross Barkley rumour, which is not going away. Why get the comments for the viewers on this one? Ross Barkley, like the guy was a player on his day, and seeing that, you know, on his day, that wasn't so long ago. Boy's only 28. He's had about like 33 odd England caps. What if we go for Red Scotland? You three make for a fine treble. Nice to catch the show live. Thank you very much, Red Scotland. Hope you're doing well. And Red Scotland, what's your thoughts on Ross Barkley? This rumour's not going away. The guy was he was on loan at Aston Villa, and he partnered up with Jack Grealish to a varying degree of success. But then the following season, he went back to Chelsea. I don't even know what he did last season. He was at Chelsea, but I barely remember seeing him. The guy has been unlucky with injuries. Do you see it as another kind of Joe Hart turn your career around, come to Celtic?
I think he could, but I don't see it as being a signing that Celtic are not so much not needing to make, but where does Celtic really get the long-term benefit of him? Here on loan at 28, he's not going to be sticking around here for a length of time. His wages, we can't afford to sign him permanently, surely. Not at 28, he'll get a low-end EPL team offering 100k plus for him if he wanted it. So a loan to help him kick on his career, he would definitely do a turn for us, but it just doesn't seem like a thing that Celtic would do long-term. So I don't see it really panning out.
The rumour is that from a Scottish journalist, I think, that Celtic have put a permanent offer on the table. The guy is on 100,000 a week from what I hear, and he's got a contract until the end of next season, I think. So he would have to come to Celtic for the love of the game, not for the love of money. Paddy, would you take him even if he wanted to come?
Probably, I think he's a big fucking strong lad, big strong laddie. Obviously, as you say, never done much at Aston Villa last year. He's kind of toiled a bit at Chelsea and all, but he was a good player. You know, when he was at Everton, he's done good things at Chelsea. So I certainly wouldn't be saying not to him, but I don't know. Aye, fuck it, go for it, bring him in.
I guess he would compete with O'Reilly for that attacking midfielder position. And as you said, he's definitely a physical player. He's quite a tall guy as well.
I suppose you could probably say he's going to be better than McCarthy anyway. So,
I mean, that wouldn't really be hard, would it then, Paddy? Even Moy's been better than McCarthy so far.
I would probably see a lot of each other anyway on the physios bench without being too sarcastic. Okay. Another couple of rumours. Kieran Tierney, he's had a blighted career with injury since he moved from Celtic down to Arsenal. He certainly won over a lot of the pundits and the fans respect him for his hard work, determination, and of course his actual footballing ability. Can't get away with the fact that he's very talented. Man City are rumoured to be after him, and as you know, we've got a 10% sale on. I think it might be 10% or 15%. Could be 15 actually. So we would earn a sizable amount of pocket money if he did go to Man City. But the question is, would Man City pull the trigger on an injury-prone player?
Very possibly. You look at Man City's backroom setup, they would probably look at him as a player that they can fix and probably get relatively cheap in comparison to other left backs that would cost 70, 80, 90 million. You'd reckon they'd probably be able to snap him up for 45, 50, which if we get 10, 15% of that, assuming it's not all profit, then, it's not based on profit only, that's an extra 5 million in our back pocket, which is absolutely fantastic for us. But Man City would probably be looking at using their vast resources to try and fix him as such, put him on a rehabilitation program, whatever it is he needs. If you mind what happened with James Forrest under Ronnie Dyler, forever injured for years before, and Dyler put him away for 4 or 5 months and says, look, we're basically not going to play you until you're fixed. Here's a whole regiment of what we're going to do with you. And he came back and he had a brilliant 4 seasons, until recently, obviously. But I think Man City would absolutely love to have a guy like Tierney. And Tierney was flourished there, especially with all the resources that they've got to try and help him.
Well, they're saying that Man City already signed that left back for 11 million today. 11 million. Wonder if that's...
Is that for a B team or something? Or?
No. They spend that sort of money on the fucking C team, never mind the first team or the B team. Either way, it's a risk for Man City if they did do that. I've not seen any other big clubs rumoured to be after Tierney, and I just cannot see him going abroad. I read an interview recently and he was talking about mental health and the struggles that he endured whenever he moved down to London. I think it would be hard for him at that age, you know what I mean, going down to London where you're taking out your comfort zone in Glasgow, moving to a city where you don't know anyone at all. Obviously he's coped with that, he's going through it, but I don't see him as a type of player who would go abroad. Others might disagree. But I think he might probably just stay put down. If Man City don't pull the trigger, I think he'll stay put to Arsenal and compete with Zinchenko. Another player though is Moussa Dembele. He's had his fair share of adventures already in Europe. Now playing for Lyon, he had a really strong season last year for Lyon, scoring-wise domestically. And the chat is that Man U, I know that chat has been on and off for a while, but Man U might be after him as well. I think Ronaldo might be leaving Man U anyway, so they will need someone to kind of fill that gap. Paddy, could you see that one going ahead?
Sorry?
Would you like to see that go ahead? Dembele off the Man U, we can pocket some more change.
Aye, well, any of our ex-players, I'm more than happy to see some kind of money coming back off them. It'd be nice to see Big Moussa in a kind of more prominent league, if you want to call it that. Banging the goals in for Man United. It's nice to see your ex-players going for some big cash.
Before I forget, because I've not written this one down. On this day, we've not done a wee history lesson for the boys and girls for a while, but we're going back quite a number of years, man. So on the 16th of August, 1890, this was roughly about the time when the Scottish game was going from amateur to professional, and the Scottish League was first formed officially in 1890. So we had our first ever Scottish League game against a team from Western Buckinghamshire called Renton. It was at Celtic Park. We get beat 4-1, unfortunately, in front of 8,000 spectators. Not a fucking bad turnout, 8,000 spectators back then. God, like, this was like about a quarter of a century before World War I started. But sometimes just blows my mind, like the origins of people, you know what I mean? But anyway, we lost this mob, Renton. But lo and behold, they actually got expelled from the league later on that season. And so the result, the 4-1 result, was voided. I know that we've had similar luck in recent times against people like Legia Warsaw, but we even had to rub the green back then. So that team got expelled from the league because of financial irregularities. But another interesting fact I read about that team was a guy, Kelly, James Kelly. He played for them and he eventually signed for Celtic and he captained Celtic. And this James Kelly then became chairman of Celtic. And after he died, his son, Sir Robert Kelly, joined the Celtic board, and later on, he then became the chairman. And he was the chairman for quite a few decades, and he oversaw Celtic's golden era. He worked alongside Jogstein, capturing the Champions League. So there you go, back in 1890, a long fucking time ago. Guys, I've got a wee bit of trivia for you. And it's about world football. It's more fun when I've got both of you in, so beginning bad, I'm glad that both of you are here. It's not about Celtic, it's about world football. I'm going to ask you to pick the Ballon d'Or winners for a decade. I'm going to limit it to a choice of two different decades. Come on, big enthusiasm here. Now, the interesting thing about the two decades I've chosen, it can be either the 90s or the noughties. The good thing is that whatever decade you choose, these decades all have 10 separate winners. There's no like in the 2010s where you can pick Messi and that'll take care of about 7 fucking years. Another answer is Ronaldo. You can nail it with fucking 2 answers. This one, you need to give me 10 answers. So, would you like to go for either the 90s or the 2000s?
Go with 2000s. A little bit more modern. Not by much.
Okay. Right. Let's start it off.
Noughties.
Pardon me?
We're into the noughties.
Yep.
Aye. So, Kaka.
That's 2007.
I was going to say 2004, but yeah.
Cannavaro.
Cannavaro was the year preceding that, 2006.
Was there no one of the goalkeepers won it in the noughties?
I think the last goalkeeper to do it was not Dino Zoff.
No, really? Okay. Rivaldo, 2003.
No, 1999, mate.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah.
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen was 2001. Well done.
Woodsy's putting Zidane, but I think Zidane was in the 90s as well, was it not?
Yeah, Zidane was the year that he won the World Cup, 1998. Stop reading the fucking comments, you get.
It's right there. It's hard not to.
I'm not looking at it, you cheating bastard. Right, so who have we got the new Gav? Who have we up to?
We've got Owen, Michael Owen, Cannavaro, and Saka.
Ronaldinho has to be in there, surely.
Ronaldinho in 2005.
Did Larson no win it? No.
He won. No, he won Golden Boot.
He won the Golden Boot. I know. Just being cheeky.
No Xavier.
I don't think Xavier and Iniesta won it. No. Not that early anyway. I think by the time they were probably getting talked about when your boy Messi was just running away.
Pirlo's never won it, has he?
Did Raul ever win it?
No.
Beckham?
No.
Nah, surely not. Do you want to come back? We'll have a think.
We will park that for the moment. Guys, I want to talk to you about...
Maybe I'll get one and all.
Is that questions?
Yes.
Do we have the answers?
Well, obviously, that's a bad quiz.
Can I get them?
Sorry, Gavin. My apologies.
No worries, mate. And a nice question. In the post-match interview with Jota, he praised Greg Taylor. It was actually quite nice. I don't think Greg Taylor was expecting it. This was when Jota was accepting his Man of the Match award in front of the cameras, standing next to Greg Taylor. and he said first and foremost, I want to kind of basically praise Greg Taylor for the performances. He's been fantastic this season, and he doesn't get the plaudits that he deserves. I actually think at one point, might have been 2 seasons ago, maybe 2 years ago, Greg Taylor actually had to switch off his social media feed because he was getting a bit of abuse. What a turnaround for the boy, though. And Jota was quite right to do that, to pick him out like that. A lot of good harmony in the squad. McGinty, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I told you so sort of thing, but I did tell you so. That Greg Taylor, I've said for ages on this podcast, if we can get a left-back version of Josip Juranovic, then I'm very happy having Greg Taylor as a backup rotational player who can kind of sub in and out for some sort of quality left-back, the same way that Ralston picked up that mantle last year on the right-back position. But I think he's went a little bit further than that, especially coming into the start of this season. You've seen him take on this new role of the inverted fullback, like it's what he's been doing all his career, as if it's absolutely bread and butter, but he's barely been doing it for 12 months. He reads the game so well. That pass the other day for, was it through to Maeda then laid it on to Kyogo. That pass was absolutely phenomenal. He read the game so well, a quick look up. He knew exactly where he was doing it. It's kind of reverse cutback pass, whatever way you want to describe it. We all saw it. It was just instinctive football. He knows what he's doing in both that position and out on the left. He's crossing, not the greatest, but he doesn't need to be when he's playing inverted fullback. And when you've got guys like Jota playing in front of you, I think he's went up a level for sure. He's done better than I thought he would. And as it stands, contrary to any other news that we've had in the last 20 hours, he's keeping Bernabei out the team here. It's his to lose. It's Greg Taylor's to lose. I know Bernabei's now obviously being hauled up for alleged drunk driving, naughty boy that he is. But even that aside, that doesn't change anything. He wasn't getting a looking when Greg Taylor's in this sort of form. So all credit to him. Well done.
Yeah, I think it's quite telling. I totally agree with everything that you said. And I think it's quite telling. Whenever we knew that we were going to buy Bernabei and the deal was struck, who would have thought that Taylor would have really pushed on? And I think it's a fact that Taylor is odds on now to be our left back in the Champions League. So I wouldn't say, some people might be cynical and say, "Oh, well, we're stuck with Greg Taylor," but I don't think it's that. He's raised the ceiling. He's fulfilled potential which we hadn't really thought that he was capable of. So I think he's the solid option for left back in the Champions League. And he's earned it, as McGinty said, Paddy.
He's obviously more experienced than on the Bernabei, so
I called him a kind of steady Eddie sort of player. He's more than that now. He's a solid, more than competent option to have there that owns that position as his own. It's his to lose at this stage. Somebody has to come in and blow him out the water. The same way that even Ralston is arguably the right back position at some points last year was his to lose, albeit Josip had to play on the left for certain games. But the two of them, the pair of them, have been absolutely fantastic for two players who 2 years ago everybody would have been happy to see him leave for nothing. Both of them now look like they could go for multiple millions if they wanted to. They've been absolutely fantastic last year and this year. Well done to both of them. Yeah,
totally, 100%. Okay, guys, get any more names for me? So Ballon d'Or winners for the Noughties, we've got Michael Owen, Ronaldinho, Fabio Cannavaro, and Kaka.
I want to think that there must be more AC Milan players in there. So I'm thinking, is Edgar Davids in there by any chance? Do you know hit those heights?
AC Milan, that smell like your fucking Shevchenko, isn't that it?
Bingo.
Oh.
As you do.
You stumbled on it by accident. Aye, Shevchenko. Shevchenko 2004.
Right. So the earliest one we've got there is 2001, is that right?
Yes.
So turn of the millennium, 2000, you're looking at France on the back in 98, then France winning the Euros in 2000. So do we safely assume there's going to be a Frenchman who won it in 2000?
No, the only Frenchman was back in 1998, Zidane.
Wow. Okay.
And then you come back to 1991 for Jean-Pierre Papin.
Jean-Pierre Papin. Oh man, I have to boil the night.
I actually thought this would be a lot easier.
A Galactico.
Well, now I just want to see Beckham again, but obviously no, because we've already talked about him.
A Galactico?
Oh, Carlos. No,
No.
Carlos didn't win it.
A guy who played in a derby one time when he had a pig head thrown at him by the opposition fans.
Oh, Fat Ronaldo.
Oh, Figo.
Figo, aye.
What is
Jeez, Fat Ronaldo.
it? Fat Ronaldo.
Didn't ask.
Fat Ronaldo also won it in 2002. So you've got two there. So you've got Figo in 2000 and Ronaldo in 2002, whenever he won the World Cup with Brazil. So we're only missing three more in 2003, 2008, and 2009. And that will complete the 10 for you.
2008, 2009.
2009 was that no fucking...
Is there an Englishman in there?
No.
Thank God.
2009? I know what your kind of theory on reason. That kind of...
Well, he never hit those heights.
No, he never won it though, did he?
Okay, move on for that. We'll park it there. Guys, I want you to ask the question, which I'm calling the Giakoumakis conundrum. I think it's crazy that we've got a guy who's so prolific and a bit of a fan's favourite as well. And he's fucking effective whenever he comes on, just after scoring an overhead kick while nutmegging a goalkeeper. That doesn't get you a starting pair, then what will? So the thing is, we heard rumours for Fabrizio Romano, the fucking Yoda of football gossip, and he said that there's been English teams who've been very, very interested in Giakoumakis. However, Celtic are saying hands off, we're not selling. And Romano also said that Giakoumakis is very happy at Parkhead. However, I'll put this to you: Giakoumakis, if things continue as they are, playing second fiddle to Kyogo, he'll be away next summer. There's no way that he's going to be sticking about. He's 27 years old, going on 28. He's an internationalist for Greece. You know what I mean? He's making waves. He doesn't want to be second fiddle and coming on for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there. I know we're going to be playing 2 games a week in the foreseeable future, but he wants to be the main man. So one of my questions to you is, do you think he'll leave if things continue like this? And the other thing is, will we ever see a partnership between Kyogo and Giakoumakis? And I'm not talking about Kyogo on the wing, because I am of the belief that Kyogo's wasted on the wing. He doesn't have the pace or the trickery like other natural wingers do. I would rather Forrest on the wing than Kyogo on the wing. I wouldn't play Kyogo on the wing. So my question is, can we get 2 up front?
We should, and I think we might see it, but it doesn't look like it's something that Ange would commonly want to use as 2 out-and-out strikers. I don't know how he would fit them both in, and I don't want to say Ange is rigid. He has shown that he can change things a little bit when he wants to. He can be a little bit adaptive, but it's unusual that we ever see Ange do 2 strikers. But I think at some point he's going to have to play both of them. And he knows after last season, Kyogo's wasted on the wing, as you said, Gav. So he's got to try them both. But what a conundrum to have. The pair of them are absolutely fantastic players, but I do agree with you. If Giakoumakis is not getting 30-plus games and getting the majority of those being starts by the end of the season, he'll likely move on. But we have 4 more years on his contract, as we said, throughout the summer, guys. We're doing 5-year deals for these players now because of this very reason. You're going to have a decent start or not, a kind of broken up start with your first year. Second year, you're going to be on fire and season 2, as they call it. And you're going to go for big bucks with long contracts. These guys are, what do you see? He's going to be 27 now, going on 28 by the time next year happens. We'll get double figures. If he scores the way we expect him to, he'll get double figures for him.
Paddy, as McGinnis said, it's a good problem to have, and I totally agree with that. And we hold all the cards in terms of him being on a long-term contract. But at the same time, sometimes it can be difficult if you've got someone that good on the bench and he's doing everything he can. You know, he scores a goal every other game. Would you get me?
It's a good question, but I think, mate, I think it's a wee bit premature. I think this season you're going to see a lot of rotation, and even the guys that aren't maybe getting the run of the league games, they'll play in cup games. You know, Joe Hart's not going to drop it all the time to get breaks and that, and Seagrass isn't going to get hundreds of games in the league. So the cups are going to be kind of things to play for that. But this season, I think it's just all about rotation, and I think everybody will be happy. But then maybe the following season, like as you say, another year in him, hopefully with another fucking championship in him, he might want to start be the main man, or he might move on, or Kyogo might stay. There might be some kind of switch by Postecoglou, because that's maybe what 2 or 3 games that he's played the two of them up front now, or at least played Kyogo in the wing.
I don't know. I can count in one hand the amount of times I've seen Kyogo on the wing. The most notable one was last season's game against Sevco at the Ship Pit. It just didn't work out. Right, guys, we've got 3 more names to get. 2003, 2008, 2009.
I'm going with either 8 or 9. I reckon the wee Argentinian boy must have been breaking into the big tally marks at that point. It wasn't too far away from his getting his 100 goals in a calendar by 2011, 2012. So he must have been getting talked about with Ballon d'Ors by 2009, surely. So Messi.
Yeah, Messi is the final name on the list in terms of year 2009 for Messi. So we got it in 2008.
2003 and 2008. Jesus.
2003, 2008.
No, and if Messi could get it in 2009, we didn't got it the year beforehand.
Cristiano. He's a couple of years older than me. That makes sense. 2003. Again, you go.
Fabulous player. I saw him once at Parkhead for a European night. He was wearing a black strip. Very, very famous night in Parkhead.
In 2003?
Well, no, that's when he won the Ballon d'Or. I think it might have been 2002, 2001 when he played at Parkhead.
Obviously, who's that? So it's either Porto or Juventus. Somebody plays for Juventus.
Deco?
The fucking blonde hair.
Yeah, lovely locks of blonde hair.
Nedved.
Pavel Nedved. Did he win? Oh, sorry, he did.
So there you go. Figo, Owen, Ronaldo, Nedved, Shevchenko, Ronaldinho, Cannavaro, Kaká, Ronaldo, and Messi. There we go.
Not a bad bunch here.
I know.
Could he make a start 11 out of them, though?
I've got one for you, boys. Put your paper away, get ready to play. So obviously there's a certain Dutch team in Glasgow tonight. And in honour of our Dutch cousins, who we hope do a splendid job tonight,
careful now.
I have got a list of names of every Dutchman to play for Celtic.
Okay. Name them all. How many is there?
Right. This is where you need to list it, okay? So 1, 2, 3.
Fuck.
There's 11, but there's 2 kind of bonus names if you can get
so
them.
11 plus 2. Or
yes.
9 plus 2.
11 plus 2.
Okay, so Jan Vennegar, Pierre.
Right, hold on. Right, so sorry, that's 12 plus 2. My apologies.
12 plus 2. Am I already proving you wrong?
No, I've counted them wrong there. Right, so who was it?
Jan Vennegar, Pierre,
Right,
Bobby
yep,
Petter.
yep. Bobby Petter, yep.
Virgil van Dijk.
Dick Van Dijk.
Yes, Dick Van Dijk.
Van der Snow, aye.
Who?
Was Sufield's Dutch? No.
Van der Snow, say aye.
Aye, Van der Snow, Gav
Right,
said.
okay, yep.
Reggie
Claire
Blinker.
Leuven's.
Reggie Blinker, and who else? Some say Levens there.
Aye.
Yep.
Didn't he steal that out the chat?
Brathwaite.
That's a good one.
good one,
The Bayern
good
Munich
one.
boy.
Okay, so I'm counting so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right so far?
Yes. 3
Yeah.
official ones to go. No, yes, 4, sorry. 4 official ones to go.
No, he was German, wasn't he? Jeremy Toljan, he was German, wasn't he? Yeah, aye.
Aye, no him.
4 more.
Oh, yeah, Ajax boy, Dick Berchter.
Good shout, sir. Good shout. 3 to go. And I think you actually started saying his name earlier on, but you kind of stopped halfway.
Who, me? Oh, Gav.
Yourself.
I was trying to say who feels, but he's no.
Right.
No, who feels. Aye. You know what I mean?
So you've got Vennegar, Hessling, Hoydonk, Blinker, Petter, Levens, Brathwaite, Van Dijk, Borigter, and Snow.
Frimpong.
Well done, sir. Yep. Can it take us, Gav?
Well, we got 2 more to go.
Two more official to go, yep.
Oh, this must be entertaining for the guys watching us struggling to name Dutch players.
I'll give you a clue. This one was a bit of a dick as well. Brendan Rodgers era.
What position?
A very lonely position.
Oh, young goalkeeper. The one he brought in that played like half a game and then he was Nottingham Forest boy. Say again, Gav?
Forest of Greece.
That's the one.
That's
Yep.
it.
Right, one more. Right, I'll probably need to get a clue for this one. Brought in under a certain Englishman a few years ago.
Barnes.
John Barnes.
Mowbray.
Other one.
Came in under Mowbray. I can't unfortunately he was French.
Guemo.
No. Thomas Rockney was Danish. Or something.
Did they play too much?
What position?
Centre back.
Centre back. Jesus.
You said his name early.
But
What? Why didn't you give me it then?
Because you never said it all you started.
Are we still going back to Hoofield?
Hoyveld. Oh, well done, mate.
Hoyveld, whatever it is. Aye.
Hoyveld.
I thought it was just he wasn't yet.
No. You started saying it and then you never finished it, so I couldn't fucking.
Was his first name Jos Hoofield?
Jos Hoyveld. Right, so there's another 2 here, right? There's another 2 here. And they might play for other clubs, but they might either play for other nations, but they are Dutch.
Are they current players?
Yes, actually, yep, 2 of them.
At Celtic or just current players in the world?
The right back who I think was shite.
Anthony Ralston?
No, the guy that plays for Utente. Urigide.
Oh, I forgot about him. That's another one, by the way. Well done, Gav. One that wasn't on the list.
We're not going to say like Sorrow is half Dutch or something, are we?
No. Good again. Yes, well done.
So current Celtic players who have some sort of Dutch heritage.
Yep. Right, I think I'll need to get a clue for this one.
Are we counting Giakoumakis?
No. This guy has to be one of the worst players that we've seen in the last year or two. One of the
Barkas?
McCarthy.
Barkas half Dutch?
He was born in Zetten, Netherlands.
Oh, fair play. Unlucky Holland.
Right, and there's one more. He's a current player.
Current player.
Very current.
Very current.
Very, very current.
Let me guess. Aaron Moyes. No. Is it Aaron Moyes?
Yep. He was actually born Aaron Kuhlman before his name was changed to Moy. So, well done. His dad was a prick.
Well, fair enough. Can't argue with your old man, can you?
No, that was very good, lads. Well done. Bonus questions as well.
I think he's talking to us.
Guys, I've got another question for you. Imagine that. Abada, is he being well managed or is he being curtailed? Who wants to look on that one?
I don't know. I can't remember. Did he take a knock during pre-season or something? Are we managing him back to full fitness?
Just a knock to his confidence.
I agree.
Sounded very Kevin Bridges.
I think we just want to be playing Maeda and Jota. And to play both of them, you're just going to have to keep flipping around on the left and the right wing. But for me, Abada is the best option we have on the right wing. He's direct. He's explosive. He's got an eye for goal. Don't care what anybody else says. He's involved in 20-odd goals last season. I think he should be starting. If he's fit, he should be starting every game, unless we find somebody infinitely better than him. But I think Abada's already up there as being a more than ready-made starting 11 player for us at the right wing slot.
Because Ange talks about, he doesn't like talk of your first 11, like your first choice players. He talks about the squad. You know, he's very much about the collective. But without aiming any criticism at Ange, nothing at all like that. So don't misinterpret it. But you can predict the first 11 names on the team sheet. I think that kind of flies in the face of favouring the collective. But we've got Abada. He had an outstanding season last year statistically, and he scored some important goals as well in Europe and domestically. And for such a young man, he's now 20 years old, and he's out and out right winger. You know what I mean? He's very, very natural in that position. And Paddy, I said to you a couple of weeks back that whenever Abada starts playing with that arrogance, he's going to be a joy to watch because he's very good. He gets into good positions. He's got natural raw pace, not unlike what Forrest was like back in the day. And I do get the managing a young player. You know, I do get the wisdom behind that. But again, much like Giakoumakis, he's coming on for bits and pieces here and there. Maybe whenever we start getting 2 games every week, then he'll get more appearances. I would fully imagine that. But I think it is still a fair question to ask. Is he being curtailed or just well managed?
I said, mate, you know my opinions on him. I think you still want to kind of refine his position, refine what type of forward he is, because he's not exactly the full package as a right winger, and he's not quite a proper out and out attacker. He's kind of somewhere in between. He's like the fucking predominant ghost, you know what I mean? Because he just comes in from nowhere.
He's the right wing's version of Sammy for me. He's a type of play. He's not an out and out striker. He's not an out and out hugging the touchline as a winger. But seeing what you would 10 years ago envisioned a proper 4-3-3 with 3 actual attackers, not wingers, but 3 actual attackers, you would have Giakoumakis through the middle, Abad on the right, and somebody like Samaras on the left. Is 3 people all aiming to get to the goal, not to get to the byline, not to play overlaps, just all aiming to pull in narrow and go for goal.
Okay, sorry, Abad is still missing, and a lot of departments let him learn those as he is to be a more rounded player. I do agree that he's a raw player and he does make mistakes. I do agree with that. Any other comments about Abada or Giakoumakis? And in terms of the front 2 pairing, I was suggesting of Giakoumakis and Kyogo. I know that Ange would have to change his formation to accommodate that. Is it kicked off yet, mate?
Yes, mate.
Cool. Still nothing each.
We did a Celtic podcast or watching the Huns? Just see.
Oh, mate, is that the first time you've dropped the H bomb?
I think so, probably. None of them are going to be watching us anyway right now.
Good
I know
man.
if you like to sneak in, but surely nobody's watching.
Andy Walker watches us.
I bet he does.
I bet he does. We were slagging him the other night, and the next day was in the paper.
Another one of Paddy's secret admirers. Right, we've got Hearts visiting us Parkhead this Sunday. I don't know what time it's at. I hope it's not fucking 4:30 attempt.
3 o'clock.
I prefer the early ones on a Sunday. Anyway, Hearts Sunday, 3 p.m. as Paddy said at Parkhead. And as we all know, Hearts are a different kettle of fish at Parkhead as opposed to Edinburgh. So I think we all expect the 3 points, but how difficult do you think it will be, Paddy?
Well, obviously on paper, Hearts are the closest rivals that we've got in the league, other than that crowd. But as much as they've done well with a great season last season, they're going to be, I think, a bit stronger this season. They're going to be playing a qualifier, I think it's in Switzerland, a few days before it. So they should come back a wee bit leggy, heavy-headed maybe. But I think we have confidence in the way that we're approaching games now after the first game when Big Ange had to kind of fire a rocket up some people's arses. I think we're coming out very, very positive. We're looking to attack at all areas and every area. And I honestly think that we're going to blow Hearts away. Honestly, I think it's going to be about a 5 or a 6-0.
I like that thinking, Doc. McGinty, would you concur with that optimism?
Yeah. I think we'll comfortably win. I think the squad's getting stronger and stronger with these last couple of games. Definitely game 1 we had to get a few rockets fired up the arses, as Paddy says. But I think when you look at Kilmarnock 5-0 going on 6, 7, 8 on that pitch against a team who admitted the day before that they were going to play to fouls, and we put in a performance like that, if you play at Celtic Park against Hearts, who are a team that you would expect to try and come at you to some degree, I think they open themselves up a little bit, and our guys will just run them ragged. I can see 3-4 goals easy. I would love to see 5, 6, 7, but I can see 3 or 4 goals easy.
Do you know, I said this last night, guys. I was on Dell's Celtic Supporters podcast, by the way. And you'll maybe be liking this one, McGinty. I've noticed, towards the tail end of last season and the start of this season, how Craig Gordon was getting all the plaudits for being a fucking 38, 39-year-old goalkeeper pulling off wonder saves. See all his good saves that he's been pulling off, they've all been close to him. See anything that's been kind of put away from him, he's no diving for them. So I think we had Jota coming in and having a couple of wonder goals already. If Turnbull's playing, he can fucking crack off a few. Guys like that and just fucking pop digs off at that Gordon. Just fucking put him under so much pressure with shots and let's see what he can still do.
Yeah, it would be easy to beat Gordon if you ask me. I believe me and Gavin had this conversation a few years ago. As you say, any shot near him, he'll make it look like a worldie. But anything that's in the top corners or far away, he doesn't pull off the acrobatic back-bending saves as much as people would like to imagine he does. So if you've got guys like, Jota, who can put a ball anywhere in the back of the net, he can put it in the top corner if he wants to. Turnbull, who can find space anywhere as well. We'll find players who will be willing to take shots at the far corner, and I think Gordon gets beat every time. He also doesn't do at all well when you drop a ball in the box, and especially near the 6-yard box, and we should surely know that. So yeah, I can imagine a few goals easily coming our way, so long as we come out firing, which we have pretty much all the time.
Remember that penalty shootout that we had with Hearts whenever we clinched the quadruple treble?
Mm-hmm.
What was the penalty? Because remember Craig Gordon went fucking tonto. It was Edward who did the Panenka, aye. Yeah, I was just trying to...
They scored it and fucking Gordon picked the ball and fucking launched it right on.
Yeah, that was highly amusing. Yeah, when he lost his cool. You don't often see Craig Gordon losing his cool, but that was really quite amusing. That is quite unprofessional. In fact, no, I take that back. Whenever people do like shithousery tricks, like stuff like you see Brazilians doing, and then the opposition go crazy about it. Do you think that is disrespectful, or do you think it's all just part of the football entertainment?
If you can pull it off, then yeah. A little bit of shithousery is okay, but as long as you're pulling it off and getting the results at the end of it, if you're just being a dick, then no. But the Brazilians tend to be able to pull off these tricks and a little bit of shithousery and actually get the result at the end of it. It's not just a little bit of showboating and then they lose the ball and whatever. As long as you can back it up with result, batter in. We're here to be entertained.
Paddy, have you ever studied anyone for taking the piss out of you in a football park?
Did it before they fucking try to take a piss, mate. Nah, it's like, I don't know, maybe like see if it's like maybe like a Ronaldo, see back when he was fucking like the kind of winger, a young winger that came into Man United. So obviously fucked up on the Man United system because he just wanted to dribble and take the piss out of defenders. So that's like a young fucking spotty wee wank doing it to you, even if it is fucking Ronaldo, do you know what I mean? Because he was just a cheeky wee boy, take the piss at you. So when it's stuff like that, it's good to fucking leave the studs in. But if it's maybe like the real Ronaldo, when he's coming at you with the fucking explosive fucking thingies, man, you just admire that.
There was one Brazilian who used to do this trick, and I think they called him like the seal. He would flick the ball on his head, and he would just do these little kind of mini headers. He would just start like running down the pitch, like doing these wee headers. And the only way to tackle him, a lot of the Brazilians would just fucking kick his head, basically. It was the most inviting way to get concussion. You know what I mean? It was such a dangerous trick. I think...
See, talking about the seal, do you ever mind seeing fucking Mr. Keepy Uppy at Celtic Park? No.
Was that a footballer who was trying to earn the contract at Parkhead and he did Keepy Uppy outside?
It was a wee guy. That was his act. His name was Mr. Keepy Uppy. You used to see him sometimes on the sideline. Just doing the same, just walking up and down, keeping the ball.
That one that reminds me of the stories about George Connolly during one of the Lisbon Lions games at half time to entertain the crowd. He walked round the pitch just doing Keepy Uppies. If he read Scotland to the wider audience, it was part of the game and spectacle, but perhaps between the two players it is a bit disrespectful, or it was a bit disrespectful. Eddie was cute and Craig had the right to toss the ball at him. Fair play. Well, it was good for TV, wasn't it, mate?
Nearly as good as Tuchel and Conte the weekend. Did you see that?
Oh, that was good. And even better, what Graham Souness said. I know that he's not the most popular of the Celtic fans, but what he said about the man's game is back. I was fully behind those statements, but the content to show handshake, that's what you want. You know what I mean? You want a bit of needle. You know what I mean? You don't want fucking Klopp and Guardiola whenever they hug each other. That's boring.
See how that Tuchel was going like that. Aye, fucking when you shake a man's hand, you look him in the eye, all that type stuff. Somebody's put up a photo. It must be for last season, and fucking Tuchel's doing the exact same thing to Sean Dyche. Just grabbed his Hornsley and looked up and shaking his hand. You know, so it's a wee bit of shithousery there for Tuchel, but I think we Conte would have took him. Fucking slap for a bit.
Aye. You ever seen like the old pictures of Conte before he got his hair transplant?
Oh,
it's fucking night and day.
Right. Yes, there's a point here for Woodsy, and it ties in with this fucking rat game. Champions League music shouldn't be played until the group stages. Do you agree?
100%, mate. 100%. First off, you're tempting fate. Like, if they don't go through, they're going to look fucking stupid, man. I would love it if they get done for copyright for not being in the Champions League, but actually playing the music. I would love that. The fucking bankrupt them for copyright. That would fucking make my day.
But
I can't mind. It's been a while, but do they usually not play it on qualifiers?
no, because
I know
it's a qualifier to get into the league.
Because I know they don't do all the advertising boards and stuff during the qualifiers. It's UEFA usually don't entertain it until you get there.
They've got it up now.
Or is it maybe different because this is a playoff? Maybe they're taking it a bit more serious from UEFA's perspective. Didn't know. Didn't care enough. We're all there. We're in the group.
Right, your badges will be real, you
know. And the group, the draw for the group stage of the Champions League will be made next Thursday, the 25th of August, at about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So I'll be looking forward to us doing a podcast after that one. That will be fun. That'll be fun. Bodo Glimt are actually playing tonight against some team. Try to get out of the Champions League as well. I wish them the best of luck because they were a good team. But anyway, Champions League group stage draw next Thursday. So it should be an interesting.
Bodo's playing Dinamo Zagreb. And the other game is FC Copenhagen and Trabzonspor. And obviously the rotten mob.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope Van Nistelrooy has got the chops for management and he puts them out over there with the two legs, man.
It'll be a good one because his former manager is sitting in the crowd with John Gregg now. So hopefully gets one up in front of him. That's Ferguson, by the way.
I figured that. Yeah. Right. Guys, anything else? By the way, Paddy, I like that wee trivia that you did there. That was a good one. I definitely wouldn't have got it without the help from the Guilty.
I thought I'd get you roped into one for a change.
Payback time, man. Because you normally do it well with the Celtic trivia. Guys, any other points? So to the viewers again, thanks for watching. And if you're still here, go on and hit that like button. Thank you very much for that. So we will do our pod, of course, on Sunday after the Hearts game. And then we'll be back to another Tuesday Tic Talk. But hopefully tomorrow we can go into work, whatever you do, work with smiles on your faces after the Dutch beat Circle. But any other points for you guys before we wrap it up for tonight?
Nah, I'm all good. My side, just hail to all the fans, all our adoring audience. I don't know.
All of our captives.
Stockholm syndrome. Why are they here?
It's been great. Everybody looks like they're joining us, so get lots of views. No that gives a fuck about the views and that, but good to see a lot of people tuning in and commenting and whatnot. So hail everybody, and hope we get a wee result against us.
Right, guys. I enjoyed the night. Right, okay, we'll catch you soon. Have a good one.
Ciao.